Welcome back to Hannity. There is major fallout after the Department of Justice recently announced they found no evidence warranting criminal charges in the IRS targeting scandal of conservatives. Now, in just a moment, I'll be joined by Congressman Jim Jordan, and also he's the one Republican of many who is now calling for additional investigations into the cover-up of the tax agency's harassment of these conservative groups. But first, the victims of the scandal, they remain outraged today, and they still have yet to be contacted regarding this case. Now, my next guest are two of those individuals, and you might remember one of them, Becky Gerritsen, who delivered this emotional testimony on Capitol Hill back in June. Watch this.
We don't understand why the government tried to stop us. I'm not here as a serf or a vassal. I'm not begging my lords for mercy. I'm a born-free American woman, wife, mother, and citizen, and I'm telling my government that you've forgotten your place. I'm not interested in scoring political points. I want to protect and preserve the America that I grew up in, the America that people cross oceans and risk their lives to become a part of. And I'm terrified it is slipping away.
Joining me now, Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan, also here. The woman you just heard from, Becky Gerritsen, and also Catherine Engelbrecht is back with us, and both of whom, by the way, were targeted by the IRS. You know, when you said, Becky, my government, you know, I'm telling my government that you have forgotten your place. Very telling. Do you think now with what we've now realized this week with the FBI revealing they're not going forward, what is your reaction to it?
Well, it got me teared up to hear that again. I feel like a silly child, but
why
Sean,
silly? I mean, that was inspiring. Well,
I'm scared because I feel like this is going to be the new normal. And from hearing your guest earlier, this seems like this administration is getting away with everything, including murder. And it terrifies me. It really does.
No, they targeted your group.
Please excuse me.
No, that's okay. Catherine, they targeted your group, too.
Oh, absolutely. We've answered hundreds and hundreds of questions and, in fact, had to sue the IRS to finally get our C3 designation. I would, though, echo Becky's words. You know, first, they came for the nonprofits. And if we don't stand up through the leadership of people like Jim Jordan, we're in a bad place.
I don't understand. You know, Congressman, I'm following the news all this week, and the first thing I hear is they've got an Obama donor, DNC donor that's investigating it. And the next thing I hear is the FBI is not going to do anything. How did that all happen in 1 week?
Well, Sean, you got the whole context. Remember when this really started was when 4 weeks into the criminal investigation, then Director Mueller of the FBI couldn't answer when he's in front of the committee. Such big news this spring. We asked him 3 questions. Who's the lead agent? How many agents have been assigned? And have you interviewed any of the victims groups? His answers were, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. So not instilling a lot of credibility at the start. Now we learn it wasn't even the FBI doing the investigation. It's some lawyer in the Civil Rights Division, who gave $6,000 to the Obama campaign. And they tell us, oh, no one's been criminally responsible. No one did anything wrong here. It is just an outrage and a joke of an investigation. You know, Becky, I spoke with Jay Sekulow with the American Center for Law and Justice. He's representing 41 of the groups. They didn't talk to a single witness. Now, you talk about your fear. What do you explain to people that didn't live through what you've lived through, being targeted by the IRS? What is it specifically you fear is going to happen?
What I fear, it was one thing that I'm a stay-at-home mom when this happened, and the government came after me. That's scary enough, but what I'm scared for is our country. The freedoms that we have are just being shirked out from underneath us, and it's becoming very real. And I'm sad because I don't think any of the other media outlets are playing this story. It's happening right under our noses, and people just aren't even paying attention. It's
an abuse of power. It's an intimidation by the government. You've experienced the same thing.
It's the weaponizing of government against the private citizen.
Yeah.
If you are an enemy of the administration or perceived to be such, you are going to be singled out and silenced.
Congressman Jordan, last question is what can be done now that they pretty much have said it's not going anywhere? What happens next?
Well, we're going to investigate the investigation. Yesterday in the committee, we had Michael Horowitz and the Inspector General for the Justice Department, and we said, we want you to investigate the circumstances surrounding the selection of Barbara Bosterman to head this investigation. And here's why it's so important, Sean. She came from the Civil Rights Division. Michael Horowitz spent 12 years at the Justice Department, all in the criminal division. I asked him, in that 12 years, do you ever recall a lawyer in the Civil Rights Division heading up this kind of investigation? Never happened. So this is completely out of the ordinary. That's why it needs to be investigated.
All right. Thank you all. And we'll continue to follow the story, even if the rest of the media ignores it. Thank you all for being with us.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.